First of all, I will explain the introduction. This is the basis before we going deeper to mobile content. Every day we did transfer data between mobile devices. It has become our basis daily activities. We sometimes download unofficial content or data from many sites. Many sites provide us unofficial content or data without writing the real owner or without writing the copyright, and then we can download it as free and we can easily find it. But actually, that those content and those data should be protected by copyright or something else. So we as the content owner should protect our own content and data, so our data or our content will not be misused by another people. So it is important to protect our data using copyright. So in this material we learn about how to protect our data.
Hi everyone, for today I would like to explain to you about digital rights management or DRM. So DRM is a management of rights of your content, which means that this is how you manage the rights of your content in order to avoid the unauthorized use of your content, and also to protect your content from piracy or any other content from piracy. So typically DRM is implemented by embedding code that prevents copying, specifies a time period in which the content can be accessed, and also the media of how many device can access or install the content. So how should it work? First, you take any content, and then two, package with appropriate security. Three, trade with chosen currency, and four, allow the content to be used. So that's how it works. So people who are wishing to use your content, they have to get your consent, and in addition they have to pay if it's for something commercial. The ease of use, it's easy to implement and use. Access to information should be easy but remain secure, which is very important. The cost should not be prohibitive. Scalable to run in Amazon or Yahoo, and adaptable to changes as DRM, encryption, payment, and e-commerce technologies come and go, which means it has to be flexible and adaptable anytime. And then the open standards are DRM standards. Isn't that why we're here? And then W3C standards, which is SOAP and XML, and e-business standards, which is EBXML, BizTalk, and there's UDDI, SDMI, and GFDI. Okay, so now talking about the history of DRM. So in the pre-digital era, people's ability to access content is very limited, which means that not everyone can access the content, not everyone can get to know about the content. But today, with just a snap of fingers, you will know every information easily. You will get access to every information. It is of course a good opportunity, but unfortunately this also leads to a piracy, or people steal your content. So this is a way for content creators to protect their content and also being avoided from things called piracy, and especially also for the business, because everyone can just steal your business models, everyone can just copy you, and this is how to protect your business from being copied by others, which is putting on the right management. For the general technique, there are two main general techniques, which are restrictive licensing agreements and encryptions, which means that someone needs to pay for the license in order to use your program or use your content, and also scrambling of expressive material and embedding of a tag. Next, the distribution scenario, there are three, which is subscription based, which we already know, like in YouTube, you subscribe to someone, or like your Microsoft, it's a subscription based, and then time based, which means there's a limit of period of time when you can access the content, and then device based, which means that it is connected to a particular device. Types content that implements the RM system, there are applications, games, music, movies, and ebooks, which are very common in our daily life. And then the systems are applied today to follow the standards that have been imposed by the Open Mobile Applications or OMA. It is an organization whose members consist of mobile phone manufacturing industry, manufacturing mobile system, and mobile phone network technology operators. There are two versions of OMA, which is DRM 1.0 and DRM 2.0. And also, three methods that are used by DRM 1.0 are forward lock, which used to subscribe ringtones, wallpapers, and it is a method to protect against copying the file to an effective enough. And next is a combined delivery, which is the digital rights are placed in a package at the same time with the content in a DRM message. And then also a separate delivery where content and rights object is shipped in different separate package. So this is how it works actually. For forward lock, it only send the content and then you will download the content. If it's a combined delivery, so the rights and the content will be delivered at the same time and then you will download the content and the rights at the same time also. But for a separate delivery, the write object and encryption key and also the encrypted content would be sent differently, but then you also have to download both of them. And then there are four methods that are used by DRM2. So before I was explaining about DRM1 and now we're moving on to DRM2 or DRM 2.0. So there are public key infrastructure or PKI security system, write object acquisition protocol or ROAP, DRM content format or DCF, and also write expression language or REL. This is how it works. So you see that the content is your, write is your, it will send their content and rights to the DRM agent and also other DRM agents. So it means they send it to you and also to others. And then the DRM agents would also send the content to network store or the movable media and also to other users. This is the difference. So in terms of application mode, the DRM 1.0 supports forward lock, combined delivery, separate delivery, in content download, which is what I have explained before, while the 2.0 supports download as MMS, streaming media, and many application scenarios like preview, super distribution, and unconnected device, and also many more. And in terms of domain support, the DRM 1.0, there is no domain support. For DRM 2.0, domain support for a set of devices sharing the same rights. For mobile phone support, the DRM 1.0, a lot of handled device support, DMA 1.0, including all 3G terminals, while for the DRM 2.0, few terminals supported. In terms of security, the 1.0 based on the assumption that terminal is reliable but not secure enough. For the 2.0 based on assumption that terminal is not reliable, the terminal and the server should authenticate each other using a certificate. So that means 2.0 has a better security system than the 1.0. For the deployment, the 1.0 is easy to deploy, while the 2.0 is hard to deploy. So one of those ways to prevent the unofficial contents is to change the scheme of the business. The business model that can be applied are easy and cheap, digital content to promote traditional product, disintermediations and give it away, and the artist freedom voucher. And I guess that's all for me regarding the digital right management. I hope that it gives you an insight, and let's move on to the next part.
I will explain to you about mobile payment system. So based on Au and Kaufman, mobile payment system is any payment where mobile devices is used to initiate, authorize, and confirm an exchange of financial value in return for goods and services. Mobile payment can be complement to cash, check, credit card, or debit card. Nowadays, we can use mobile payment to pay our electronic bills, water bills, and etc. using account-based payment such as internet banking, debit card, credit card, or electronic bills presentment. In mobile payment carried out on transaction and digital services or goods such as buying ringtones, videos, or buying flight tickets, buying train tickets, buying bus tickets. How about the current mobile payment? Nowadays, through mobile payment, we can pay anything using our mobile, such as paying insurance, do funding, and then we can pay our food using GoPay, OVO, or Doku wallet. Everything become digital. There are 5 types of mobile payment. The first type of mobile payment is premium SMS. For example, is SMS banking. The second type of mobile payment is contactless near-field communication. For example, is T-Cash. We only tap to pay our goods or services. The third types of mobile payment is direct courier or bank cooperation. For example, is mobile banking. The fourth type of mobile payment is mobile web payment, which is we can purchase anything from web. The last types of mobile payment is direct mobile billing. For example, if we want to pay electricity bills from our mobile phone.
So here I will explain about mobile payment business model. So mobile payment business model focus of the initiation of the payment is divided into two parts. The first one is consumer initiated payment. So here the consumer who transact directly with the server, including authentication and payment authorization. And the example is the use of NFC and contactless payment operation, and the use of additional hardware on mobile device or phone. And the second one is merchant initiated payment. Here the scenarios where the transaction took place equipped or sent by the merchant. The example, mobile electronic funds transfer at point of sales are processed by using a mobile phone. And then based on service provider, mobile payment can be divided into several models. So the first one is operator-centric models, is from customer to operator to vendor. And then bank-centric model to customer to bank and to vendor. And then collaboration model, and the last one is peer-to-peer model from customer to ISP and to vendor. And here factors that promote and inhibit mobile payment. So there are two factors. The first one promote factors, and the second one is inhibit factor. In promote factors, there are offer more added value to consumer, merchant, telecom operators, financial institution, and several other participants of payment ecosystem. And then the second one is UX because the use is more convenient than the existing payment method at this time. And then in inhibit factors, there are 6. The first one, the complexity of ecosystem that requires the cooperation of several parties, and the cooperation between the parties is still lack. Those parties are banking, merchant, sales, telecommunication operators, and others. And the second one, financial regulation is centered over the banks and cannot accept new models follow the rapid technological development. And the third, security or the perception that mobile is not secure enough. And the fourth, the high cost to prepare the infrastructure. The 5, not many handsets that support various type of mobile payment available, especially NFC. And the last is the lack of the interoperability between multiple mobile payment technology standards.
So I would explain about e-money or digital cash. Before that, I would explain about the terms of money itself. Coin bills, like the money cannot be in the two places at once, cannot be like double spend, bearer bonds or other immediately cashable. For example, like traveler's check. And the third one is diamond gold. We call it as portable money. Digital cash. Digital cash is a system that allows a person to pay for goods or service by transmitting a number from the computer to another. Each one is issued by a bank and represent a specific sum of real money. In general, there are two distinct types of e-money. The first one is identified e-money, second one is anonymous e-money. Identified e-money contains information relieving the identity of the person who originally withdrew the money from the bank. Also, in much the same manner as credit cards, identified e-money enables the bank to track the money it moved through the economy. And second one is anonymous e-money. Works just like a paper case. Anonymous e-money is withdrawn from an account. It can be spent or given away from a living like transactional trail. You create anonymous e-money by using blind signature rather than non-blind signature. Next is ideal digital cash system. The first one is independency, transfer through network. Second one is security that cannot be copied or reused. The third one is privacy that cannot be trackable. Fourth one is offline payment, is like peer-to-peer. And fifth one is transferability that can use to be transferred from me to another person. And the sixth one is divisibility, the digital cash that can be divided into a small amount. Next is protocol consideration. Customer needs to safeguard like privacy in their transaction. Security, the customer that their transaction was not diverted, misidentified, or otherwise like misplaced. Any system of electronic money will also need to instill complete confidence of transactional protection. Electronic money needs to be trusted that the merchant will deliver what was paid for and the merchant is real and not to be fraud, and exists to dispute if the product turns out to be unsatisfactory. Regulation, standardize digital money and address the worth of a unit. And for business, increase the sales by like making the purchase electronic possible, like e-money from GoPay or for something. The consideration factor for business are cost and ease of acquisition, cost of ease of online or offline verification, availability, risk of fraud, like is it like double spending, stolen money, fraudulence, and liability of fraud. In case of fraud, how much payer or payee responds for. And the last one is for technical challenges. Customer privacy, treat digital cash as concept of a cash we use in the real life. Cost effective, the cost to each transaction should be cheaper for the value of the goods, even count for all potential fraud or other costs. And the last one is preventing fraudulence, especially for double spending. Double spending sends the same digital money to different people or services. And that's all. So I will explain about advertising mobile. The first one, I will explain you about types of advertising mobile. Second one is example of advertising mobile. For types of advertising mobile, it can be like from SMS. We usually get like promotion or something. Banner ads is like in the road we see the advertisement on the road. Fourth one is mobile video ads, and fifth one is mobile game ads. That one is like kind of same. It can be like when we use an application and there is an advertisement, pop-up advertisement that we can click it and download it. And the sixth one is jingle before voicemail. It usually appears when we call someone. It appears like a song or a new song or something. They promote their song to the voicemail before we call someone. And let's go to the example of advertising mobile. The first one, top up alert, branding. By the tagline, for example, have a brick, have a Kit Kat, so it promoting the Kit Kat. You have a brick, you should eat Kit Kat, that's why. And second one is balance inquires, interactive advertisement about the sale, like they promote sale. And third one is content, click to call. For example, an advertisement that have their phone number, and so customers, so if customer interested and they directly call to the one who advertised their product. And the last one is person to person, click to VIP, and an ad that contains like link, so customer can directly click the link and it shows their product or something.
The increasing of smartphone usage serves many potential for advertising. Smartphone has helped humans to easily connect to the others, and it means by smartphone, information can be easily to be delivered. Smartphone penetration in the Asia Pacific region is booming, or it can be say as trend. In fact, penetration in a number of markets in the region is approaching saturation point, having already eclipsed penetration level in the US and many European nations. Nielsen's Telecom and Technology Practices Directors in Southeast Asia, North Asia, and Pacific, Sagar Patka says, the growth in connected device ownership across Asia Pacific has been staggering in recent years. Nonetheless, he notes, while this growth expected to begin leveling out, consumer use of connected devices will continue to evolve and expand, presenting vast opportunity for organizations to engage with consumers on an almost ubiquitous platform. Some factors that must consider to choose the right target for our ads. The first is interest or hobby. We must analyze the interest of our target. We must think that is it interest suited to our advertising? Is it right to us to advertising to people that have that interest or not? And then the next is behavior and demography. Survey of the users. We must ask, is it suited to your interest, or like, yeah, just try to the user. And then locations and the type of mobile device, CRM database, and context and keyword. There is some actor in ecosystem and advertising mobile business model. The first one is advertiser, and then advertisement agencies, and then advertisement network, and then SMS aggregators, and then publisher, and then publisher oriented vendors, and then mobile content optimizers, and then carriers, and then carry oriented vendors network, and then search, and then consumer.